What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm just gonna do a get ready with me. I just decided to turn the camera on because I did have 2 events to go to in the same day, so this video of me actually getting ready for the day. Here I'm not doing anything new, you guys have seen this 1,000,001 times, but I'm just covering up my under eyes and then all of the acne marks that I have that I don't want to peek through my foundation, and then here I am just tapping it out so that it blends once I do put that foundation over. And for foundation, I'm using my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I only reserve this for special occasions because, like I've said it previously, it is very pricey, but I do like the way this wears. It's a satin finish, so it's not super matte and it's not super dewy. It's like that happy medium right in between. So I really do like this for going out to events and stuff. Here I'm just tapping it out with my Real Technique sponge. Nothing out of the ordinary. I swear it looks like I'm going so hard on my face on camera, but like in person I feel like I'm not bouncing my sponge that hard. I don't know why it comes off like this. I don't know, but I'm pushing that product into my skin, that's for sure. You want to make sure you always blend down the neck and a little bit even on the ears. I don't know if you saw in the earlier clip, I did go a little bit onto my ear and then I went down my neck because you want everything to blend seamlessly. You don't want to be whiter in some areas than the other. Here's my Shape Tape concealer, my holy grail at the moment. Putting it under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and then the middle of my chin. So I'm just tapping that out, and then once it's nice and blended into the foundation, I'm just gonna take whatever's left on the sponge and kind of put it on the middle of my forehead just for a little extra brightening. Like I said before, I don't like putting concealer or any kind of brightener like right onto my forehead because I feel like it gets really cakey really quick. So I just take whatever's left on my sponge and kind of pat it up there. You'll see. And then I also like to kind of take the side of my sponge, I'd lay it a little flatter and not using the point necessarily, kind of using the side of it and just quickly going over like 3/4 of my eye. I like to prep my eye for my eyeshadow primer. I do have a lot of like veins and stuff on my eyelids, so I like to cover that up as much as possible. And then I'm also really pushing that product into the areas around my nose because I do have a little bit of texture around there, so I like to fill up that area as much as possible so that my pores can be basically non-existent. Next up, I'm gonna take my Airspun powder. This is in neutral, I believe, and I'm just gonna use my sponge, dip it in the powder, and put that right under my eyes and pretty much anywhere that I just put that concealer just to set it. And I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit, kind of like a mini bake. But I do like to use the cap and kind of put it underneath where I'm putting the powder because that stuff goes everywhere, I swear. If you've never tried like a loose powder or anything like that, you wouldn't know, but this stuff goes everywhere. And I'm really just trying to pack that onto the areas where I know I get creasing. So like the top of my forehead, I have a few lines there that I just always crease regardless. And then I also do a good amount on the smile lines. So for today's eyeshadow, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and the first color that I picked up was Golden Ochre, just on a blending brush, and I kind of just went right above my crease and kind of made like a line, almost making like a new crease, but I just took that shadow and I'm using that as my transition. And then the next color that I dipped into was Burnt Orange, and I just went over that shadow just to deepen up that line a little bit more, make it a little bit more defined. This look is basically just going over the same line a million times just to make it a little bit more defined and give the eye a little bit more dimension. But I'm just trying to fake a crease as much as possible because, like I mentioned before, I don't really have a super defined crease. I have hooded eyes slightly, so any kind of shadows that I put into my crease kind of get lost in the sauce once I open my eyes and look at you like straight on. So I like to, fake out my crease a lot because it makes my eyes appear a little bit bigger and I just like the way it looks. So here I am, I'm putting that burnt orange right over the previous transition color. Being super precise, I'm not being as sloppy with it as I was the previous color. And now I'm using my Melt Cosmetics Rust Stack, and this color is Rubbish, and I'm going in with another blending brush and I'm putting that right in between the transition shade and the burnt orange color. This is gonna blend the two together. And like, I use these Melt Cosmetics stacks all the time. Let me know if you guys want me to do a video or like a review or something on the stacks, because I have like almost all of them. But moving on, I'm just gonna go through with a clean blending brush and blend out all the lines. And then I'm taking from the Anastasia palette the color Red Ochre, and I'm using it on a small pencil brush, and I'm just going through carefully and defining the line that I made. And now here I'm taking one of the shadows in my Makeup Geek palette. This is the color Voltage, and you're gonna see in a minute I'm gonna cover it up with something else because it ended up being too like yellowy for me. So yeah, I'm pretty much kind of doing this step for no reason. But yeah, I'm just taking that and I'm carefully packing it onto the lid and right under that line, making sure not to go over the line that I created with all the other shadows. And then I'm kind of like winging it out a little bit at the end. But how crazy is my hair though? And now here I am, before I go and put that other shadow on top, I'm just putting that Airspun right back under my eyes because this is gonna have mad fallout. But this is the, not really a shadow, but this is the Artist Couture Cocoa Bling Diamond Glow Powder. And since it's a loose powder, I decided to put that powder under my eyes because if I get fallout, I can just easily wipe it away. So I'm just packing that right on top of the Makeup Geek shadow that I placed down. And I had to be careful with it because this powder is sparkly, and if you're not careful, the sparkles will fall all over your face. But I'm pretty much just covering up all of the Voltage color that we just put down. And now here I am taking the color Red Ochre from the Anastasia palette on that pencil brush and further defining the crease line. Once I put down the lid color, it kind of got a little bit onto the crease color, so I had to go back and fix it a little bit. That's real life, guys. When you're doing something like this, you gotta go back and forth because you're gonna lose the intensity every so often when you do place other colors down. But I'm just going through and kind of just further defining that crease because I want it to be a little bit more intense than it was. So this is what you're seeing here. And then I'm going through with a clean blending brush and just blending all of that out. And now here I am just highlighting the brow bone with the color Clastic from that Melt Cosmetics Rust Stack. This is just a matte vanilla shade, or like a bone color really. And then I always like to take a clean blending brush and blend the brow bone color to the shadow that I placed down. That way you don't see any kind of lines. And just wipe away that powder. And now working on the lower lash line, I took the color Chickadee from Makeup Geek and I put that all the way under my lower lash line, and it kind of outlined the shape of my shadow up at the top. So I went from the lower lash line all the way up to the tip of the wing that we made with the shadow. And now going over that Chickadee color, I'm taking the shadow from Anastasia called Morocco and I'm going right over that just to further define, and I'm going in with a smaller brush so that I can drag that color out onto the underside of the wing with no problem, and I don't blow it out too far because I wanted it a little bit more precise. And on here I'm just kind of like fixing up that line up at the top. And then I lost a little bit of that sharpness to the wing there, so I'm going back in with the Cocoa Bling and fixing it. In the inner corner I used the color Primavera from the Modern Renaissance palette. Moving on the contour, going down the sides of my nose, under the lip for more fullness, and then I already did, I'm pretty sure, the cheekbones and everything. But I put a little bit of contour into the Cupid's bow so that I could look a little bit deeper. And I like the way that looks, so I might start doing that from now on. But here I am just putting on the color Infatuation. This is a blush from Makeup Geek, and then just kind of blending it out a little bit. I'm gonna go in a minute with a dual fiber brush and blend it out a little further. And then I'm taking that Airspun powder. This is like, all I do is just put powder all over my face. But I kind of carved out my cheeks a little bit, and I'm using the custom cover drops from Cover Effect in the color Celestial, and I'm putting that down onto the tops of my cheekbones, and that's kind of prepping it for highlight. And then I'm taking my Ofra Rodeo Drive highlight and putting that on the tip of my nose and on my Cupid's bow. I always use this color for highlighting my Cupid's bow on the tip of my nose for some reason. I feel like it's the most natural looking. But for my cheek highlight, I'm using Cocoa Bling, of course, because I want it to match my eyes. And then I went back over with my blush brush, not picking up any more product, just to blend the blush and the highlight together, and then I wiped away that powder. This is it, all complete. On my lips, I have Jeffree Star Mannequin and Gemini mixed. I love that combination for nude lips. And yeah, so that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.